We're recording.
Today I want to make a video about how to set your, that was the dog. How to set your post bases in line for a beam that's going to go on top. The critical thing is that you have to get the post bases in a perfect line this way so that when you set your beam, the posts don't weave back and forth. So if you come over here, I want to show you our method. So the first thing we do, if you could just pan along the string, you'll see this string line. And what you should see, if you go right, if your eye is sort of tracked straight down, you'll see that it goes straight down the middle of all of those post bases. So what I do is I make, if you come and look at this now, sort of focus in on this one right here. What I do is I make a line down the very middle of the post base, and I actually eyeball it straight down. And the thing about eyeball it straight down is it actually shows me if it's twisted. And so with one eye closed, I can twist it a little bit and get the line to line up. So that's one thing I do. The other thing I do is I take the plumb bop, and then I set the plumb bop just right next to the edge of my string and see where it sets. So it's just almost there, maybe a hair off. I think that the whole base, well, actually this is showing way off over here. It's almost an eighth off. So I need to move it that way a little bit and move the whole base that way a little bit. Check it again. Pretty darn close now. Pretty good, or really good. And now if I look straight down, looks in line that way. And then the next thing I do is just take my level and just do 45s. And so the bullet level is pretty much right in the middle. I'm just going to I'll press down a little bit on this side, and then I got a magnetic one, so I have to actually twist it off so I don't change the level. And then again, this side got a little bit off in my adjustment, so I'm going to press down. Okay. And then every time you make an adjustment, you got to recheck everything else. So we're going to do this one until they all come up the same. This one. Okay. And then I'm just going to give it a gentle tap to try to get the concrete to stay in. Another thing I think is really important is I try to mound the concrete up underneath it and then sink the post base into the concrete, but it's still too high, so that when I'm making my adjustments and I press it down, it's still going to be above where the post base is going to sit in the sonotube. Because you never want your post base to go so deep down so that the water's recessing in. And I always try to make the mound up a little bit so the water sheds off to the side. So that's basically it. The things to remember are, make sure you can track your line, make your line down the middle of your post bases, check with your plumb bop, twist it so that the line looks perfectly straight with your eye, and then double check your levels corner to corner. And that'll make your beam sit really nice on top of your post.